15 days remain, and the invisible clock of consciousness is louder than any ticking sound you have ever heard, because time is not pressuring you, it is inviting you to decide who you will be. When the year nears its close, the mind becomes fertile soil, and every thought you plant now stretches its roots into the future, quietly shaping events you have not yet met. Many people feel anxious in these final days, believing they must run faster, work harder, or force miracles into existence. Yet the ancient law teaches that effort, without alignment, scatters energy and yields confusion. A declaration is alignment made audible. It is not begging, wishing, or hoping, but a calm statement of truth spoken before the world agrees. When you declare, you step out of fear and into authorship, announcing to the subconscious that a new pattern has been accepted. These 15 days are not ordinary, because the mind reviews, releases, and resets naturally, and what you impress upon it now travels with unusual speed. You are not late, you are precisely on time, for clarity often arrives when urgency awakens the soul. A clear declaration acts like a spiritual compass, correcting the course of your thoughts without struggle, and once the direction is set, unseen forces move to meet it. This is why 3 clear declarations can outweigh years of scattered affirmations, because simplicity concentrates power. The mind obeys clarity, not complexity, and life responds to certainty, not desperation. As you listen, something within you already recognizes this truth, because you have experienced moments when a single decision shifted everything, even before circumstances changed. Those moments were declarations, whether you named them or not. Now consider this carefully, because here is where many hesitate and miss the turning point. Declarations require release. You cannot command a new chapter while gripping the old pages with fear, resentment, or regret. Mental baggage whispers familiar stories, convincing you they are protection, when in reality they are anchors. Releasing them does not erase lessons, it frees the energy trapped inside them. The mind, once relieved of old weight, becomes receptive, and receptivity is the doorway through which opportunity enters. In these remaining days, small intentional actions, chosen with clarity, become sacred signals to the subconscious, confirming that your words are real. You need not see the entire road, you need only declare the direction. As the year prepares to close, the question is not whether change is possible, but whether you will speak the words that permit it to begin. This moment asks for courage wrapped in calm, faith rooted in understanding, and discipline guided by kindness, because what you consistently think, speak, and feel now becomes the silent agreement shaping the experiences that will greet you when the calendar turns and a new chapter quietly opens. Stay present, stay deliberate, and remember that consciousness always moves first, while circumstances obediently follow the pattern you impress upon the unseen with patience, trust, and unwavering inner certainty now. As these days unfold, a deeper truth begins to stir beneath the surface of ordinary thinking, because declarations do more than shape goals, they rearrange perception itself. When perception changes, reality follows quietly, often without announcement, and this is why many miss the miracle while waiting for noise. The subconscious does not argue. It accepts repetition and emotional certainty as fact, then sets about proving it through circumstance. Yet here lies the suspenseful turning point most people never see until years later. The mind will obey any declaration, conscious or unconscious, positive or fearful, deliberate or careless. Every unspoken belief you carry is already declaring something on your behalf, shaping outcomes while you remain unaware. This realization can feel unsettling because it reveals that stagnation is rarely caused by lack of effort, but by unexamined inner agreements made long ago. As the year draws to its close, those agreements surface more clearly, asking to be questioned, revised, or released. You may notice memories, doubts, or old disappointments rising unexpectedly, not to torment you, but to signal readiness for departure. The subconscious brings them forward because it senses your intention to move forward, and it seeks clarity before following. This is the moment many retreat, mistaking discomfort for danger, when in truth, it is confirmation that transformation is near. If you persist gently, without force, the mind begins to reorganize itself, discarding patterns that no longer serve the direction you have chosen. Declarations spoken during this phase act like final instructions before a journey, concise and authoritative. They do not argue with fear, they replace it. Suspense builds here because results are often delayed just long enough to test commitment, creating a silence where doubt attempts to speak louder. This silence is not absence, it is incubation. Seeds do their most important work underground, unseen, and impatience has uprooted more dreams than failure ever could. Small actions taken during this quiet period are signals of trust, reinforcing the declaration without strain. Resting when guided, organizing your space, completing simple tasks with presence, or choosing better thoughts in ordinary moments all communicate readiness to receive. The subconscious reads consistency as truth, and once convinced, it aligns opportunities, insights, and encounters effortlessly. What feels like coincidence later is simply the natural echo of mental alignment now. As the days narrow, intensity increases, not to frighten you, but to focus you. Distractions lose their appeal, and clarity sharpens, urging you to decide what you will carry forward and what must remain behind. This narrowing is a gift, though it may feel uncomfortable, because it removes excess and leaves essence. When essence is clear, declarations gain momentum, and momentum attracts support you did not know existed. You are not being rushed, you are being prepared. These moments of inner tension are the threshold between who you have been and who you are ready to become, and what you choose to affirm here will determine whether the next chapter unfolds with resistance or with surprising ease. Now the final days stand before you like a quiet doorway, unmarked yet powerful, because endings are not empty spaces, but points of transfer where energy changes hands. What you carry through this doorway matters more than what you leave behind, and this is why consciousness becomes unusually sensitive now. The mind listens closely, measuring whether your declarations were spoken as temporary emotion or lasting decision. This is where integration occurs, when words, thoughts, and feelings begin to agree, forming a unified command that life cannot misunderstand. You may not feel dramatic certainty. Instead, you may feel calm resolve, which is far more potent. Calm is the signal of authority in the inner world. When authority is present, struggle dissolves, and effort becomes guided rather than forced. The unseen responds to composure, because composure reflects trust in law rather than anxiety about outcome. As the year closes, the greatest act of faith is consistency, continuing to declare even when evidence has not yet appeared. Evidence follows agreement, never precedes it. This principle has governed every transformation you admire, though it is rarely spoken aloud. Here, the suspense resolves quietly, because the question is no longer whether change will come, but whether you will allow it to arrive without interference. Interference often appears as overthinking, revisiting old fears, or demanding signs before alignment is complete. Yet true alignment feels ordinary, even subtle, because it restores natural order rather than creating spectacle. When the mind settles into this order, opportunities begin to align effortlessly, not as miracles, but as logical progressions. You start need to words, they are confirmations. They indicate that the declaration has been accepted and is now being executed through circumstance. Entering a new year with this awareness changes everything, because you are no longer reacting to time, you are directing it. The calendar becomes a tool rather than a threat, and goals become expressions rather than struggles. Release now completes its work, allowing gratitude to replace tension, and gratitude seals the process by affirming sufficiency. When you acknowledge that alignment is already underway, the subconscious relaxes fully, accelerating results. This is why endings that are honored consciously give rise to beginnings that unfold smoothly. You are not crossing into uncertainty. You are stepping into continuity shaped by intention. Carry your declarations forward with simplicity, repeating them gently, living as though agreement has already been reached, because internally it has. The outer world will follow at its own pace, faithful and precise. Trust this timing, because it is exact. As you move beyond these final days, remember that power was never in the number of hours left, but in the clarity you chose to embody within them. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.